Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to my go-to shoe, Faith, Hope, and Love, a journey through loss, live on, strength, and soul. And of course, before we get started, like, subscribe, and share. Touch the notification button so you know when Pauline's coming back. Well, tonight, I have a very special guest. I'm extremely excited about it. Before I even talk about my special guest, as you all know, in March, we had International Women's History Month, and we celebrated women the entire month. And then we kind of took that to April because I wanted to continue the celebration of women because women are doing some great, great things. And now it's May. By the time you see this, it'll be May. And we're going to continue to celebrate women because it's Mother's Day month as well. So, excuse me. So we will continue to celebrate mothers during the month of May. And the men will get their chance sometime in June, hopefully. But so I just wanted to share that with you. So in case you're wondering why are we still talking about women, we're talking about women because they've done some great things. And little did I know when I asked this special guest to come on that she had such an illustrious career. I mean, just absolutely fabulous. Well, we have a absolutely outstanding woman here for today. I've talked about what we're doing for International Women's Month and Women's History Month, and how we went on in April, and now we're going on through for May because it's Mother's Day month by the time you see this. But my guest is Evelyn McGill, and I'm really excited to share her with you. So I'm glad she's accepted this. But I'd like to share with you her bio, which is really quite special. Evelyn McGill serves as Executive Director of the Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission, where she is recognized as a transformative leader committed to sufficiency, innovation, and continuous improvement. Under her leadership at VWC, she has earned Top Workplace USA honors for 5 consecutive years, and she received Richmond's 2025 Top Leadership Award for mid-sized companies. Her career includes Director of Management of Finance at the Virginia State University, Deputy Chief of Administration at the Richmond Police Department, Vice President Financial Affairs at St. Paul's College. She holds Vice President of Financial Affairs, I said at St. Paul's College. Also, she holds an MBA from Virginia Tech. She has a master's from University of Pittsburgh. She's got a BS from Virginia Commonwealth University and has completed pre-graduate studies at the University of Virginia and corporate board training at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. You know, Evelyn, when I read all this, I was like, you've been busy. You have been busy. And take note, she's a mom and she's a wife, and she's been a wife for 40 years. So this is a woman who you really want to get to know so you can take some lessons from her. Evelyn has served as president of the International Association of Industrial Accident Boards. She was the vice president of the Pamplin School of Business's MBA Advisory Board. She was on the board of visitors member, the University of Pittsburgh Graduate School of Public and International Affairs, and then she's also served as internationally. She has lectured in Malaysia, Canada, and Switzerland, and across the U.S. Evelyn was honored at the University of Pittsburgh's Distinguished Alumni Board and Roscoe Robinson Jr. Memorial Lecturer on Diversity Driving Excellence. You know, these things, it may seem like we're saying a lot about you, Evelyn, but really these things are they're even more important at the time that we're in right now. I mean, these things that you've done are so important for other women to hear the things that you've done in the past and other people to hear. And as I stated before, she is a wife, she's a mom, she has 2 children, Askia and Evan. And, like I said, she was married 40 years to Clarence Bucky McGill, who is a good friend of ours, my kid's godfather, both my kid's godparents. And I can't believe we've known all this time, and I don't know as much as I should know. So I have to do a better job with that, right? Anyway, Evelyn, we're going to start with, I know I told you about some other questions, but now after I read your bio, I'm kind of changing up a little bit. because I want to know more about this career. So, you've done so many things, and there's been some obstacles, I'm sure. But I'd like to ask you, in your career, what motivated you to pursue the particular career path that you took, or did it just drop into your sphere? How did that happen? Because you've had quite a career, and you're still a very young woman. So, share with us, share with the group, how you came about your career and how you got started.
Well, it probably started when I was in college many, many years ago. I really did not know what I wanted to do. I knew
Mm-hmm.
I was going to college. My mom raised us that it was just going to be automatic that we would go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And as she said, my job, her job was to get us to college. Our job was to get out. And so I made sure that that happened. I decided to go to grad school in public administration. I think I decided to do that because my mom was in the federal government, saw what a great career she had and how happy she was. And so I attended University of Pittsburgh and received a master's in public administration. My goal was to come back to Richmond eventually and become the city manager. That was I didn't quite hit that goal. I did come back after being in DC for about 15 years. And I basically came back here to take care of my mom. My mom and I were very close, and I did not want her to get old by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Always going to take care of my mom when she got older, which I did. And so I ended up working in state and local government. In the Washington area in DC. I worked for Metro. I worked for Arlington County, Prince George's County. And then I met Bucky and I'm like, we're getting really serious, but I'm moving back to Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't married and he liked it. So we moved here after we got married. And I was very fortunate to land as a vice president at a small college. And that position really led to the trajectory upward of my career. And from there, I've been very fortunate to secure executive level positions. I've been on this level for many, many years. And it really happened because of a couple of reasons.
Okay.
I listened to Bucky in terms of jobs that I saw advertised. And I also was not quick to say no to opportunities that turned out to be bigger than I ever imagined.
Mm.
And I tell my kids this all the time, don't be so quick to say no if what you see in front of you doesn't look exactly the way you want it to be. And just a quick example, couple of examples actually. At the police department, I applied for a position that was just a lateral move, a business manager position. I didn't want the job. I said, I really don't want this job, but I want out of where I was. Applied for the job. They said, Evelyn, you're the person. I said, oh my goodness, what have I done? I really don't want this job. But they said, I want you to meet the police chief. Okay, and you always want to meet the top person. And I met the police chief in the middle of the interview. He said, Evelyn, this job is yours, but I want you to be the number 2 person. I don't want you to have the business manager position. I want to hire you as the deputy chief. I originally said no to that opportunity. That would have never happened. And, I have another example, which is really what I call, God speaking to me.
Before you get to that, I want to go back to that no. When you said you really were thinking no because that wasn't something you weren't sure you wanted to do. What was it that made you make that change where you decided, well, maybe I should go forth and do this?
It was really Bucky, my husband. He has a background in human resources. It's been what I call my career coach.
Oh, okay. That's great.
I don't think so. He says, oh yes, you definitely want to do this. And each time he has done that, it's turned out to be something bigger than I've ever imagined.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. It shows you that you were a team early on. And either one of you had any idea that that's how that was going to work, because you're taking on positions that you had no idea the trajectory was going to take you into that sphere, but yet it did. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but what was the next area example that you were going to share with us?
Well, so I retired from the police department. I took a summer off. I said, I still feel like I can work. I see this job in the newspaper. People say you don't get jobs in the newspaper, out of the newspaper. Every job I've ever had came out of the newspaper.
Oh my goodness.
Newspaper person. I read the newspaper. And, I saw this job, executive director, Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission. I saw it. I said, no, workers' comp, it's so complicated. I know a little bit, I see it again, the same job. I read a little bit more about it. I said, I don't think so. I saw it the third time, and I said to Bucky, I said, why do I keep seeing this job? He said, Evelyn, the Lord is speaking to you. Why aren't you listening? I said, okay, well, I'll apply. I applied. It's an executive level agency head, state of Virginia position. I wasn't in the state of Virginia. I didn't even know the agency. Didn't know where it was. It's administration and finance. Okay, that's my background. And they hired me.
Oh my word.
And it was just really the Lord saying, Evelyn, this is for you. It has been just an incredible journey of I can't even describe to you what this position has presented. And not necessarily for me, but for everyone in the organization to reach the pinnacle of their career or invest their talent in an organization that values their being there.
So when you went for that position, were there any challenges at all, or did you just everything just kind of worked its way through?
Oh, there were many challenges. So there are 12 different department heads that report to me, and I didn't know any of them. About a third of them were happy I was there.
Right.
They were like, who is this woman? They were kind of on the fence. The third, they were anti-Evelyn. And so I knew that I was going to make it better by being authentic in what is fair and good and just. That's been my whole leadership philosophy. Do what's fair, good, and just. And communicate with people and be transparent with people and encourage folks and lift them up. And if they mess up, it's okay. We can fix it. It's not the end of the world. And, people needed to learn how to leave their ego at the door. That it's not about our egos. It's about we go together and make this better. And it's been a tremendous journey.
That is just awesome. I mean, because when you come into a new position, especially at that level, you're right. Everybody's looking at you, and you're not their favorite person, and so you had to rely on something greater than yourself to work with them like that, because there's all this background noise that's happening a lot of times that you're not even aware of, but yet you knew that that's where God placed you. So you had to move in that arena.
Yes, I had a woman I used to work with before I got the position. Her name was Amanda Johnson. I met her. I was doing some part-time work, and she was very spiritual. She told me about a prayer room in her house, which I had never heard of. And she said, I don't know, it's something about you that the Lord is telling me is about to happen, and it's really good. And the question for you is, are you ready for this? And it just shook me. And she was right. It's just been incredible. It's been an unbelievable journey.
You know, when I think of when I listen to you, I'm thinking about your the significant challenges that you had to overcome. You know, here you're a woman doing this position. They may have like who was it? Was it a male person in the position prior to you coming on board, or was it another female?
It was another female actually who works under me now.
Oh wow!
She and I competed. I got selected. She took it as a very, she of course disappointed, but she welcomed me with open arms. She's a tremendous individual, very spiritual individual. And so we have bonded very well in my organization. We did not have conflict.
You know, I was going to ask you, you know, the spiritual experiences that have provided you strength throughout your journey, and it seems like you have had snippets of spiritual influences along the way. But what would you say would be significant? Was a significant spiritual journey, or what was pivotal in your spiritual walk with God as you took on this position?
Well, I've always believed in trying to do the best job that I can do and not be political. I'm
Mm.
a person. The way I am with you is the way I am at work and the way I am with my family. I might not be as relaxed tonight because, you know, this is a formal presentation. But I don't really wear a facade.
You don't. Mm.
Um, I try to be a real person. And that's been my approach to work and family and community. And the rewards have been unbelievable.
Wow.
I haven't had to play games with people. Integrity is very important for me. My character is very important. And I try to be the best person that I can be. And when I mess up, and I do mess up, I'm not perfect. I recognize it and I'm sorry, I messed up, I apologize and try to do better the next time.
So how have you, because of the positions that you've held, how have you managed work-life balance, raising your sons and being married and working and then also the other areas in your life where you were volunteering different and on different boards and what have you? How did you make that work-life balance work for your family?
That's a great question. You know, you hear women saying, you know, you can have it all. You can be a wife, a mother, work, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We need help. And you have to have a support system. And I have a great, I have a great spouse. I had my mom help with the kids and all, and I have friends who helped as well. So, you know, you have to have that support. But one thing I realized in the work world, and this isn't necessarily in the position that I have now, but in previous positions, uh, generally I've been one of the few women in the room, because there are not a lot of executive level women in organizations still, unfortunately. But I've learned how to not be married to the job. I'm not married to my work.
Mm.
I want to be remembered as a good person, you know, a good mother, a good spouse, a good friend. If you want to mention the work stuff later on, that's fine. I don't really care about that. Those, you know, ahead of that is being, you know, a faithful Christian, believing in the Lord, you know, a good mother, a good wife, a good friend, community person, you know, all of that kind of flows from me. That's, somebody asked me, what did I want my legacy to be? And they mentioned all this work stuff. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. That is just not me, you know. If you didn't have your family and your friends, and certainly if you didn't have a faith in the Lord, none of this would happen because everything I have belongs to the Lord. It wouldn't have happened without him.
Wow, that's, and I think we all need to remember that because we're on this planet and we didn't get here by ourselves. I mean, God created this planet and there's so much that he wants us to do. But the fact that you have showed who you are as a woman of God, you're showing who you are as a woman of God by being kind, by being generous, by being supportive, by being encouragement to others. And you clearly exemplified that in your career. I'd like to talk a bit about your mom because I remember when you guys came to our house and we had a song on, and your mom she was getting weaker, but she got up and she danced with us to the Word of God too. You could see the joy of God in her face. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your mom and how she was so instrumental for you as a young woman.
Yes, well, I'll start, with my mom and dad, actually. You didn't know my dad. My dad died like your son died.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, I live with that every day. I don't think you ever overcome it or get past it, or at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened, my mom was there and she just said, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing. You're still going to go to college and graduate. And my mom raised us in the church. We went to church every Sunday. We went to Catholic schools. I was raised Catholic all the way through high school. And so when my dad died, I vowed, because I saw how hurt my mom was. I vowed I would never do anything to hurt her. Never. And I wasn't a perfect child during, typical teenage stuff. But I vowed I was going to get through college, grad school. I was going to get a job, do well, take care of her, because my mom rode the bus to work for 38 years in the federal government.
Oh, my goodness.
She was the second African American to attend St. Mary's College at Notre Dame.
Oh, my goodness.
She had to get on a bus at age 16 from Richmond and ride to Chicago and get a bus from Chicago to South Bend, Indiana. And she had never seen the school, didn't know anybody. She attended. She didn't graduate. She came home. We're talking 1946. So
wow.
And so when I think about, the struggles I think I have in my life, I think about what my mom had to endure and what I have to endure. It's nothing compared to that. And
wow.
that's my focal point, to try to always become a better person. And I believe if you become a better person, then everything else will follow. I tell my kids all the time, you chase money and jobs and your entire life. But if you're not a good person, if you don't treat people fairly, don't do what's good, fair, and just, if you don't have character, it's not going to happen. But if you do exhibit those traits, everything else will fall into place. The job will happen. The money will happen. Everything, the career, the spouse will happen. I prayed for the Lord to send me a good man. Prayed for it, and it happened. I didn't go looking.
So this is a good segue to this then. But so what would you tell young women out there today who are just, they're trying to take care of their kids, they're single moms, and they're pressing forward. And like your mom showed you, because how old were you when your dad passed?
I was 15.
So you were 15. So your mom is raising teenage daughters and a teenage son at that time. What would you tell these young women out here today that are kind of getting disillusioned with the way things are in our society? What would you share?
Well, the first thing that I would advise is that you need to be grateful for what you have and thankful for the skills that you do have and whatever blessings you wake up to every day. Recognize those blessings and build on those blessings. And don't get caught up in all this worldly stuff of, I should have a new car, or I should have much more money than I have right now. You've got to build on what you have. The world is not going to give you anything. You've got to build on it, and you've got to understand, who you are and what skills you do have. You're a child of God. He brought you into this world for a reason. You're a unique person. Identify who you are and what you have, and try to build on those skills and those resources that you have, and not get caught up in what you think you should have, or looking at other people and being envious of what they have. It's all about finding out who you are. I call it self-actualization.
Self-actualization.
Really figuring out who you are, and developing, good habits, and persisting until you succeed. Realizing, you are a great miracle in this world. You're here to invest yourself into making the world a better place. I mean, those are some of the mantras that I live by.
I love that. Recognize your blessing. Recognize your blessing, and then build upon that blessing. But people have to recognize that they are the blessing. They are a blessing, and we're a blessing to be a blessing to someone else. So I love that. Recognize that you're a blessing. Recognize your blessings, and then build on your blessings. I love that. And what did you call it?
Actualization.
Self-actualization.
Your greatest potential. You can't reach it without positive, strong people around you who are going to support you and not tear you down. You've got to surround yourself with people who are going to support you, who you can support as well. People that tear you down and they're envious or whatever that is, you can try them, come around, so to speak, but sometimes people don't come around. They want to see you suffer because they're suffering. We were put here to prosper. We were not put here to suffer. We're here to be happy and joyful and be prosperous.
Wow. That is such sound good golden nuggets, I call them. Golden nuggets that we need to hear. We all need to hear that we have self-worth, that we have to recognize these blessings because they're bountiful, the blessings that we already have. We're, like you say, we're always reaching for something else. It's kind of time to bask in what we have. Bask in that blessing that God has given us. Oh, this is awesome. There was something about your mom with a dress or some clothing that you told me about one time. I wanted to hear that story again. Do you remember? It was something about she had a dress that she was getting. Or no, when she got on that bus, she had one dress. Wasn't that what it was?
One dress.
Now, I need people to hear this because we always think we need so much. We need this, that, we need the other. But your mom got on that bus to go to. Tell that story, would you?
To Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And she got off the bus in Chicago to South Bend. She goes to South Bend, St. Mary's College. She gets in the dormitory, and her roommate has like 25 dresses. My mom has one dress. She has no money. She has one pair of shoes.
How many pairs? She had one pair of shoes?
One pair of shoes. I mean, my mom grew up, her family did not have money, but my mom was really intelligent. She was really smart. The Bishop of Richmond selected her for the scholarship to go to St. Mary's College. And when she got there, she had one dress. Now, when my mom would tell me these stories, she would have tears in her eyes. Because it was, I mean, think about it. You're 16. At that time, they didn't have, they graduated in the 11th grade at that time. They didn't have a 12th grade here. And you're 16 years old. You get on a bus and ride to Chicago. I mean, who does that? I don't even know if I would do that now.
I don't think exactly. No, I don't think I would do it either. But just because it show you the resilience that your mom had, she just at a young woman, she was focused. She was focused, and she did what she knew she had to do, and it
Yeah,
didn't matter whether she had. I think about the title of this podcast, my go-to shoe. Your mom had one pair of shoes. We worry about all these other shoes. She had one pair of shoes for her journey.
yeah,
That is so powerful when I think about that little lady, and your mom was so petite and so beautiful. So she was just as beautiful as she was strong and good, but she was just a beautiful woman. But to think that she started her little career out with that dress and that one pair of shoes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, amazing. Oh,
Richmond. She started her career in the federal government, and she had a very successful career. And I just watched that. I listened to that, and I have nothing to complain about.
mm,
Whatever, however you want to define success, I define success as being a good person and helping people. It's
mm.
it's not a job title. It's not my paycheck. It's not the corner office or whatever. That's not success to me.
Maybe we should send this out to some people who need to know that what they need to do. I'm just saying.
Everything, believe me, if you do what is right, good, and just, you treat people fairly, you're a good person, you're a real person, you help people. When you mess up, say, I'm sorry. Don't walk around like it's okay, I'm the boss, I can say whatever I want. No, you can't. People are still human beings. If you do those things, great things will happen.
People just have to be patient with themselves.
Everything will fall into place.
Wow. Well, Evelyn, this has been. I'm looking at what else I want to ask, but you really have said so much and shared so many golden nuggets with the folks who are listening, who will be listening. So I just want to thank you for this time, and I'm so glad that you talked about your mom, because this is Mother's Day month, and I do know she was just a great person. And I know that you're a great person. You've always been the same. You have not changed over the years that I've known. You've always been who you are. And to think that as I was reading your resume, I was like, oh my goodness, how did I not know this? But that's because you're just a humble person, and you just, like you said, you just be kind, just be kind. And I think that's, people don't, sometimes it's a lost art. It's a lost art. Sometimes we're just not kind people. So thank you for that. And I love that. Build on the blessing, listen, recognize the blessing, and then build on the blessing. And I think that's just a great golden nugget for us to kind of close this down. But I just want to thank you for everything that you've done and you're coming on. And I know you're a busy woman. You're still working, so I know that you've got things that you're working on and getting done. And I was going to ask you. I have one last question I have for you.
Yeah.
If you were to if we could describe Evelyn in one word, what would that word be?
That's a great question. I think at this point in my life, that one word would be peaceful.
Oh, peaceful.
Yes.
Peaceful.
I seek peace in my life.
Peaceful. I think that's what everyone seeks, is peace. So if when you have a friend that is peaceful, that's who you want to be around. And I think you said so many golden nuggets when you mentioned earlier about who you allow to be around you.
Yes.
People have to know who is going to support them and encourage them, and those are the people that you want around you, not people that are going to tear you down and not do what they need to try to. We should be helping each other. So that's just so purposeful. So thank you so much again. But we're going to end this video, and we'll see how we'll let God do what He does. But thank you. I really thank you for coming on. I'm just so appreciative.
Thank you.
Who you are and all that you've done in your life and with your sons and of course Clarence. We know Clarence, and I just thank God for you and your family. So on that note, let me end this. We'll say, like I always say, like, subscribe, and share. Touch the notification button so you know when Pauline's coming back. But Evelyn, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And just hang on a minute so we can talk for a little bit afterwards. Anyway, you're not going to hear the after stories, everybody. Maybe next time. Hey, that's we might have to do that. The aftermath. Okay.